I think today when I think and I remember that swollen wrist and the fractured hand with the plaster, with wrapped with plaster, and everyone signing.
A, a very good evening to all of you viewers. Today, my name is Sarla Shivkumar and I'm the moderator for you all. Being a part of Soil Cup, one of the leading marketing companies of India, promoting women entrepreneurs, especially giving us a platform, to give a great audience to people. So here we are today with a fantastic personality. Totally, I'm floored, and I'm really telling you that I'm really honored to be sitting here to interview a very dynamic personality, and she's none other than Dhasmana. So, Namrata, just a small introduction about her for those of you who don't know. She is a thought leader, a global speaker, a certified global coach, a very passionate trainer, a people developer, and she leads a very purposeful life. She's also trained by Gallup, and a very unique aspect about Namrata is she's an ex-army officer. Wow, hats off to you, Namrata. She leads a very busy, hectic life, and she's taken time out to share her life journey with us. And one of the things which is very close to her is that she loves to develop youth. And something very interesting about her, she has also displayed daring qualities like jumping from 14,000 feet during skydiving. Amazing. So these are few of the things that Namrata is fond of. And we'd like to interview Namrata today so that, many women entrepreneurs and many women in general can be inspired by her life. So can we start the interview, Namrata?
Thank you so much, Sarala, for this wonderful introduction. I'm floored. And it's an honor to be in your platform. And yes, let's get started. Let's set the ball rolling.
Great. Great. To begin with, I just wanted to understand that there are so many hats that you wear every single day. How do you manage that? How do you
Yes.
manage that? You're a speaker, you do so much of social work, and you're a woman entrepreneur, so many things. How do you manage all that?
Yes, this has been asked to me several times, and I have questioned this to myself also multiple times. And we all live in phases in life. In one phase, we have certain goals. In when we keep graduating and we keep elevating in the phases of life, we keep having different goals. So we to live a happy, splendid, satisfied life, it is very much important to be able to create balance in the when there are multiple goals like financial goals and purpose goals. So that's where for me it was imperative to have financial goals and to have my purpose goals. If I compromise either of them, I'm not a happy person. So everything has a purpose related to it, be it an entrepreneurship, be it a research, or be it anything. So when my why, I think my why is clear, that why I'm doing certain things. So perhaps that gives me a path to navigate, to get connected with people, and perhaps also to give them an answer when they keep asking me. And that's how perhaps I'm just navigating the journey.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's a very inspiring journey, I must say. So I would like to know, to say that being a woman, I'm sure you've been asked this question several times. Do you really have to face so many? Did you have to face so many challenges, to be where you are today? It's not an easy path that you have chosen,
Frozen.
Namrata.
I'm sorry, Sarala, but you were frozen for a while.
Let me put the question again. I wanted to know that being a woman, I'm sure you would have had to face many challenges to be where you are today. So, what were the challenges, that you had faced?
Yes, that's definitely being. I think we all have challenges, be it a man or a woman. First and foremost, it is that. It's not that men don't have challenges. Women have more challenges, undoubtedly. Why?
Yes,
Because it's a patriarchal world, it's a patriarchal
yes,
society. To accept ladies aspiring big is something, it's very difficult to accept them. They are, it's so first and foremost, the biggest challenge for me, the biggest challenge has been the challenge of breaking their perception. I think that's the
Yes,
biggest challenge which I have felt while, especially when I started my entrepreneurship journey, that initially they had thought that, okay, it's just the trainer, then they thought it's just a speaker. So then it took me time to break those barriers in their minds, because you cannot just, especially as a lady, you just can't keep going and keep just speaking about what all you're doing. You really need to be a little
yes,
subtle. And of
yes,
course, having all the kind of mindsets that you have to navigate with. So I think my biggest challenge has been the challenge of perception, which I have to really break. And I think these are the invisible barriers. There is no mountain that we all have to, climb.
yes,
The
absolutely.
challenge of the other person understand that, hey, this is what I'm looking, because they are always ready to give what they want. They are not ready to give,
Yes,
to take, or to give what we have to offer. So that's where, and
absolutely.
it's, let's, we all know
It's
the
a
fact
very
that
important
it's a
point.
male dominated organized society. So wherever you go, it's the men who are sitting at the top, at the authority. So be it when you go as a whether they are my clients or whether they are other entrepreneurs. So to make them understand, hey, this is not what my requirement is. My requirement is this. So that's why I chose design thinking as one of my very important session whenever I speak, because you cannot be successful in life till the time you don't have that kind of empathy mapping in the business. So that has been the
Very
biggest
true.
challenge of making the other person understand that I'm here for business, I'm here for work, and not to make them do what they want me to do just as a trainer.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
have other people as well whom also they need to be fed, and they also need to be looked after. So that has been the journey
absolutely.
till now, and have been navigating. It has, I would not say it has been a big, very big challenge, but yes, it has made the process slow, because the
Right.
people there with these fixed mindsets. And I think that's the biggest challenge in our country, where there are little less women entrepreneurs, and the economic growth is still, we really need to make it
Yes.
little fast.
Absolutely, absolutely. You mean to say
The
basically mindset of people has to be changed. The mindset is
yes.
what you mean, right? They have to change, right?
Yes,
Absolutely.
has to
So,
be. It does not have to be changed, is a question mark. The only thing is that it is not making people live up to their goals, their aspirations,
yeah,
and that's a hazard to the growth of the
right.
country as well.
Absolutely. I agree with you totally. Being a woman entrepreneur myself, I totally
Yeah.
agree with you. I can't be far from that. So, how long has it taken, you to be where you are today? How many years have you been polishing yourself and working on yourself and still climbing the mountain? How many years has it taken for you to be where you are? Was it a simple journey? I'm sure it's not a overnight journey that you are so
No, no.
successful and, yeah,
No, the journey and overnight. It's so I think the journey begins with self. When you say climbing the mountain, perhaps my fundamentals of being in forces, being in armed forces, help me to be resilient, to not having an attitude of don't give up, to having an attitude
absolutely.
of never give
Wow.
up.
Yes,
That's again something very important which I found. And again, the third and the most important thing is having that purpose, having the clarity why I'm doing this. And fourth, which I found again as in self development, is the spiritual awareness and the spiritual elevation. I think that's also very important to navigate in the journey, to navigate in the life, and keep meeting people, and be staying resilient, and I mean, keep achieving your
absolutely.
goals.
That's very interesting, because I'm so glad that you touched upon that subject of being spiritual also, because, I don't think you can go far without this element of being a little bit spiritual at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does help you to, with your attitude of never to be defeated and come what may, let me face the challenges, let me overcome. So without that spiritual touch, I don't think it is possible. It's
Yeah.
easy to, accept defeat then. And so, exactly. So, I'm sure you must have come across, many stories, many inspired for you yourself personally. So, what is that story of yours, which is very, very close to your heart? Which one do you cherish the most? An experience or a story? What is it, dear?
Okay, I think today when I look back, that day, that time I didn't thought to it to be a very inspiring or a very big story. But during our first skydiving jumps,
Right,
it was the trials for women skydiving team in India, like Indian Navy, Air Force, and Army. All tri-services officers were there,
right,
and our
right,
instructors were also mixed from all the tri-services. And there was a selection for skydiving team, like which had to go to Brazil for the world's competition in
right,
skydiving. So they
right,
had to select women officers for that. And the first level is the static jumps, which is meant for 4,500 feet. And then all those women officers or lady officers who were getting selected, they were taking up to 14,000 feet. So of
right,
course, and we were like young captain. I was very young with all the energy and everything. And skydiving was something very close to my heart. I just wanted to do that skydive from 14,000 feet and of course get selected in the team. So in my 10th jump, so of course, like I completed my 5 jumps. I was selected for the next level for the free falls, which was meant to be for 14,000 feet. We were three
right,
girls, three lady officers who got selected. Rest all could not clear after their 4,500 of feet. And we all three were from army. In my 10th jump, I
right.
broke my wrist.
Oh,
And my wrist was like this, it
oh,
hanged like this. And I think that was my first fracture. Before that, there was a very minor fracture during the training, but a fracture which made the body, kind of hang
right,
was some first time. So it was paining badly, but my instructor asked me like, Namrata, you ready for the jump? And I said, yes, sir, I'm ready for the jump. So he saw my arm, which was absolutely swollen. He said, have you seen your wrist? I said, it seems to be swollen. He says that it's a fracture. I said, no, sir, it's
wow.
not a fracture, but it's paining, but I think I can manage my jump. Because in the jump, I mean, you need both the hands to be active. You
Yes,
have to
yes,
maneuver the canopy and all. And all set with all the kind of, Josh, but then instructors do have certain responsibilities. So he sent me to the hospital, and where of course it had a fracture, and the entire arm was filled with plaster, and I was extremely disappointed, and I think I was crying. I still remember I had a senior lady officer with me, and I said, what was going to happen for now? I mean, I'm not going to be part of the camp for the skydiving team and all the kind of things. But that was something which, kind of jolted me. Then I was posted in Gangtok during that time.
right,
The camp finished. The selection was not completed because there was only two, and I was still in the kind of not selected. No, I was in the reserve. It was in the reserve. It was covered in the media also. So I was in the reserve.
right,
And then I reached back to my unit in Gangtok. I started healing my broken wrist with all the kind of exercises, strengthening exercises, all the push-ups,
right,
strengths and weights
right,
and everything. And slowly and steadily it started healing. And our next camp was then in Misamari. So my CEO, that was the first time when my CEO said, Namrata, I haven't seen such an enthusiastic skydiver who has
wow.
forgotten everything and was just focused in one single wrist. I said, it's not that I was not doing other work, but that passion and that fire of
Yes,
doing that skydiving from 14,000
yes,
feet and taking the country globally was something burning in
amazing,
my heart. And
amazing.
that was that. I think today when I think and I remember that swollen wrist and the fractured hand with the plaster, with wrapped with plaster, and everyone signing it. And then the way I recovered was also something. Today when I think, I said, yeah, fine, you did a good job. I can pat
Wow.
myself.
Like, did you remember my question is, did you remember your why at that time? Was why important for you at that
Yes,
time, when,
so I think at that time the why was the kick that I was getting from the skydiving, jumping from the 14,000 feet, which I had. That I think that was a goal that time in the skydiving. Then
right,
selection in the women's skydiving team and taking country globally, taking
right,
Indian Army globally. So that was a
right,
big purpose in front of me. And out of, I think there was 17 to 18 lady officers. Out of 17 to
right,
18, we were three who got selected.
right, right,
So that was a thing. And it used to pain a lot.
Hmm.
but I just survived that pain. I don't know how, but today I don't remember how. But yes, answering your question of why
Yes,
was clear, because that was my maybe a temporary goal, but yeah, that was a big goal for me that time.
right. Absolutely. It's so good, huh? It must have been a very good feeling. Yeah. So,
Yes.
Namrata, like what I would
Yeah.
like to also ask you, one more question. So, is there anything that you follow? What is that philosophy that you follow in your daily life? So, I'm sure, being a strong woman that you are, independent, fiercely, having these daredevil qualities, I'm sure you must be having some philosophy which you're following every single day. So, what is that philosophy? If you would like to share with all the women out there.
Yeah, sure, sure. See, first and foremost, the purpose has to be very clear. The why of everything is essential. Somewhere when you have the why, you are ready to compromise on such small little, things of having any kind of difficulty, any kind of challenge that drives you to move out from your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
Sometimes that drives you to sometimes even skip your meals and just have your meetings back to back. That drives you to just make a quick travel plan. So the clarity in why is very much important, because people
Yeah.
did ask me that why did you do research, what was the importance of doing the research, and that too. But then the
Hmm.
why of all the researches that was done by me was clear, and that's how that path is getting navigated. Although I didn't get any kind of financial goal was not aligned with those kind of researches.
Right.
But so that's first and foremost is coming to your question that why it should be
Yeah.
crystal clear.
Clear.
The
Yeah.
financial goals are entirely different, the purpose goals are entirely different. If you have a purpose behind your work, no one can stop you to achieve anything that you want. Nothing is
Absolutely.
impossible. I would say, yeah, it is difficult, it might take little time, but then it's not that something that you cannot achieve. And I think second, the most important thing for me is getting staying rooted and staying
Yeah.
humble. I think humility
I
is
can see
something
that.
Humility is something which I keep telling, that even if you feel that element is missing, please keep pulling me down. So humility is something which should not be missed. As in when we keep elevating, we should become more approachable. I feel that.
Absolutely.
So that's something which these are two things which I feel are
Amazing.
extremely important.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing so much of insight into all these aspects, of Namrata Dhasmana. I have a question, so do you have any message for the women out there? There are,
Hmm.
I'm sure there's a message for everybody. Even maybe, men are watching this. Not only women are watching this, even men are watching this. But especially to the women out there, because I feel they definitely need to be inspired, motivated, and they have to see like similar people. So I'm a woman. I get to see women like this, like Namrata. I get even more inspired to do. So any message for them? What is your message for women out there?
I think I'll give message first to men.
First, that
Okay. Why? Because see, because we all are creations of God, and
yes,
everyone is equally talented.
right,
Be it a child,
right,
be it a man or a woman. So labeling anyone is the easiest thing that we can do. And that's what I
right.
see generally people, end up doing. So that's the reason in society, most of the top positions are manned by men. So that's why the message has to go to them, and they need to learn, or rather, I should say, they need to understand for the importance of the self evolution, which I find
Yes,
is lacking. Their own spiritual maturity is something
right.
where perhaps they will have more harmony within themselves and stability within themselves, and acceptance of another talent which is coming, because having a fear that someone will come and take their place and not
Yeah,
creating space for others is somewhat I have seen in
yeah,
many
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
our in many of our men's fraternity, which
Right.
is detrimental to the society. So that's where that harmony within self, when our dear men fraternity starts doing, perhaps they're going to elevate more, and the space or the world or the corporate or the society will become more inclusive. The first and foremost message is for our dear men's fraternity, because they
Amen.
have a lot
Yeah,
of responsibilities, they have a lot of things to do. So that's why they need to have a little bit of self harmony and spiritual maturity. And second, like you want me to give message for our ladies, for our dear ladies, I think ladies are doing great job. All that is lacking is the glorification of the work that they are doing. It is not that ladies are not in politics. It is not that ladies are not in leadership. It
Yes.
is not that ladies are not entrepreneurs. It is not that ladies are not in policy making or in research. Everywhere ladies are there, but still we will see the cover photograph of every magazine will have a man. So perhaps there again, if some men also step in and say that, hey, this is what our counterparts are doing, perhaps that will become more mature, rather me and you keep asking for our space.
Yes.
That's what I feel. I
I
can't keep
understand. Yeah.
talking and I keep asking for my space that, hey, please create this space for me. So that's why ladies are doing amazing job. They only
Yes.
need glorification. And that
Yes.
glorification needs to be done by our male fraternity. Why? Because they are at the top, because they are at the leadership positions, because they are at the authority. So they need to have,
Majority. Yes.
yeah, they are the majority who are at the leadership positions.
Yeah.
So they need to have that harmony, balance within themselves where they accept the ladies' wonderful work and the leadership roles that they are doing,
Yeah.
and glorifying them. Because if
It
my
will
team,
happen.
if it's something, yes, that's what is the thing. That's what the leadership is all about. If my colleague has done something, I have to glorify that, not just keep glorifying myself. So I think great job, ladies. Great job, dear men. A little self harmony will make the world, a little self harmony among men will make the world little better, I would say.
Absolutely. Maybe, what I'm just thinking is the women in the recent past, maybe a couple of decades, the women have really taken this a little bit farther than the men. The growth in women it's become more than the men. So maybe that's one reason why, that they are not able to cope, because I think considering 30, 40 years ago, where women were and where they are now today, but men seem to be probably growing a little bit slow, but women are really, racing. So that disparity is there still,
Yes.
So maybe that disparity will definitely, I'm
Yeah,
sure
that
about
thing,
that.
and I
Yeah.
think second most important second thing where one must speak and understand the financial disparity in the organizations.
Yes, absolutely.
Best of the organizations are still not paying equal amount. I mean, if 8 hours someone is working, that's violating the basic labor rules. So that's
Right.
where again, even if a man of one age has to begin with their entrepreneurship and a woman of a one age of a similar age has to begin an entrepreneurship, imagine the amount of capital that we both would be having after having led certain number of years. So that's a little immature thing where
Mm.
perhaps it has been kind of accepted. The financial disparity makes people more empowered, make them aspire or make them live their dreams, what they really want to do. So that's where again I would say the government is also has started some kind of case study in the with the organizations to create that kind of parity. They have started with the introduction of independent directors. Independent
Right.
directors, if they ask
Yes.
for the peace certificate, I think that in the organizations, in the big organizations, I think that will be a kind of red flag what is already there that can
Correct.
be addressed. So these are the kind of serious issues which actually creates equality, which creates inclusivity, and which
Right.
makes or enable everyone to live their life in a healthy way. Because ultimately, where I feel women are declining also in their health aspect, and financial security does allow them to live a healthy life as well. So that's where all these kind of things I do not know when we are going to stop talking about the kind of inequality men and women are still having. It's disappointing, it's disturbing, I would say it's upsetting. I don't mind
Mm.
saying somewhere I do expect our male fraternity to have a little harmony within themselves so that they become secure, so that
I'm
they
sure
become
the men
stable.
watching there will get the message, and there will be slowly, but yes, steadily, there will be some kind of progress in this.
I
So much.
really feel that slow progress is not really required. It needs to really fasten the very statement that, okay, it is happening and it will happen in
Yeah.
next 10, 20 years will only
There has to
dampen
be a
the
revolution. You
progress.
mean there has to be a revolution?
Revolution within themselves.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Revolution
What I
mean
mean, within.
coming on the road.
That's within. Yeah. It's not coming out on the
Yeah,
streets
it's
and
all
saying
within.
something. No. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, it's
Understand.
not me coming out, me and you coming out and asking for. We have a lot of work to do. We have our business to do. So revolution
Yes.
within themselves, accepting, and I think that's going to open up their own perhaps door of progress as well. That's also because if I accept my own weakness, I grow.
Absolutely. I have one question for you. Personally, do you have any role models?
I definitely look upon three people.
Yeah.
First is Yogi Adityanath ji.
Okay.
Okay, for the kind of changes in a lot of things that he has done. Second, with Dr. Jaishankar, the shift that he has created for India in the space of geopolitics. That's something which is very inspiring. So that keeps me updated with the world's business actually. Third, of course, our Prime Minister Modi, that he is also changing the entire space, the landscape for country. And fourth, the Russian President, Mr. Putin. If we read and if we know more about him, if any of the viewer, I think there's a lot to learn from the gentleman, from the President of Russia, where he
Right.
has made his country evolve right from nothing to a certain level where at a global
Mm-hmm.
space, Russia
Mm-hmm.
has a very strong stance. So I think these
Right.
are the people whom I really look forward for. I mean, not look forward for, but I kind of keep reading and keep understanding how do these people try to move in their life, and all of them are very difficult life. I mean,
Yes.
except Dr. Jaishankar, I would say. But then if we look at the biography of all these people, they all have struggled. They all have done a lot of work within themselves, and they have kept themselves updated, and they are doing amazing job.
Great. Absolutely. So moving on to one or two lighter questions. So what about your life? So do you also enjoy life, or is it only work,
Yes, yes.
work, and more hard work for Namrata?
No, no, no. I totally and truly enjoy life. I love reading. A lot of books are there. I
Yes.
love collecting a lot of colorful stationery, and I
Wow.
love driving. So yeah, I enjoy life with nature. I enjoy life with a lot of things which are around me. So yeah.
Great. Great. So, what's the future looking like for Namrata? What do you have? What kind of plans do you have for your future in terms of,
Future.
professionally, or in terms of, all your goals, taking all these people forward? What kind of,
Yeah.
future can you?
So yes, so like you mentioned, youth is close to me, and there's an initiative which I really wish to formalize to develop and to skill our youth and to get them employed in the MNCs.
Mm,
My target for the youth is from with the marginalized sector of the economy, and why? Because they are the people who are the real talent of our country. They are the people who actually need a hand holding, and they come with values of loyalty. They come with values of hard work. They come
mm,
with values of honesty, integrity, which every employer looks for. So yeah, that's something which I would love to do in my coming years, to
right.
get them with the latest hard skills and then getting them employed to the organizations.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for that lovely thought. And before we sign off, so I would like to know, what are the three most important things that you do on a daily basis? Three important things in the morning without fail, and three important things that you do before hitting the bed in the night. Like, what is it that you do? Is there any routine that you follow, or is there anything that you follow with? It's a must for Namrata to do this.
I think so. A
Mm,
must is going to temple, which is nearby.
right.
That's one thing which I don't miss. Second, like a good Indian, I can't miss coffee. Okay.
Wow.
And Third, I have to tell you three things.
Yeah, three things, is this in the night or is it in the morning? Like your coffee, your temple is in the night or in the
Yeah,
morning?
coffee is in the morning. Coffee is
Right,
in the morning.
right,
And the third morning thing is I have to write a little. That's something
right.
which if I don't do, I feel that
Wonderful.
I have not done something. So I have to write a little in the morning. So these are my morning things. At night, I think my ginger tea is at night, which I really can't afford to miss.
Just wanted to know what are the three important things that you do in the morning without which your day doesn't start, and the three things which you do in the night without which a day doesn't end. So three things.
Thanks. That's quite an interesting one. And yes, it's there on my fingertips. First is, of course, going to temple in the morning. Then I can't miss my morning coffee. And the third, I have to write my things. Till the time I'm a very traditional person, till the time I don't use a pen and a paper, I don't feel that my day has started. And I think at night, my ginger tea, which is ginger water, which I can't miss. Second, again, writing what has to be done tomorrow. And third is, of course, praying before I finish my day.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And a lot of similarities between your life and my life. Like for me, it's paper and pen. I'm not
Yeah.
in this digital world also. Still, I'm connected to the paper and pen. It gives me a lot of, happiness and comfort feeling.
Yeah.
Yes. And so thank you so much, Namrata, for being there, for giving your time. It's been a pleasure, really, truly from my heart. It has been a pleasure meeting you online. And I'm sure one day we will meet offline. Thank you so much. Anything you'd like to say before you sign off?
I'm sorry. Yes. Thanks so much, Sarla and team. I kept you people on hold. I mean, kept you kind of, waiting for last 1 week. We could not connect, but it was a pleasure connecting with you people. It was a pleasure connecting with the team of Soil Cup. You guys are doing amazing job, and
Thank you so
definitely
much.
we are in the same such city. Would love to meet you. Personally and physically. As I said, I'm a very traditional person. These online things does gives a kind of delusion in relationships. And yeah, I would just love to spread this message through this medium of Soil Cup. That living a purposeful life is imperative. To live a self-harmonized life and to live a satisfied life, which everyone keeps yearning about. Once we all have purpose in our life, which is not getting compromised to our financial goals, we live a quite complete life, I can say. So yeah, that's what I would just like to sum up my words. Thanks so much once
Perfect.
again.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, Namrata. And I wish you all the best, with all your endeavors. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thanks.